name is Paige. I'm a 23-year-old office employee. I moved out from my family home and I live alone, but I get along really well with my family. And today we have plans for a dinner party with the whole family. That's because our amazing parents are celebrating their 30th wedding anniversary, and to celebrate their pearl anniversary, my oldest brother Paul planned a dinner party for them. He said that he reserved a high-end restaurant that is often shown on the TV and in magazines, and he said it was hard to get a reservation. Phoebe and Kevin also came home for the occasion, and we were going to celebrate with the whole family together. Grandpa Philip and Grandma Pam were overseas, and they unfortunately couldn't join us though. Oh, I can't believe we're going to a dinner at such a beautiful restaurant. It makes me nervous. I feel the same way, right, honey?
That's true. Let's see. What are we going to be able to eat here today? Huh. That's a fancy diner, isn't it? Are you guys happy with it?
Come on, honey. This is a restaurant, not a diner.
It's also my first time coming to a restaurant this fancy.
I can sense it. I have a feeling there's going to be a very big commotion here. What? Phoebe is having one of her visions.
No problem. As long as there are as many members of this family, no matter what happens, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Ta-da! That's right. And plus, today's a big celebration, so of course there's going to be excitement.
That's what we said. As we walked into the restaurant, Paul was the first to speak to the staff. But then the staff member didn't even smile, and he glared at us like he was judging our family. Why do I feel like I've seen those eyes before?
Hello. I have the reservation under Paul.
But then the employee looked at me and a surprised look came over his face.
Wait a minute. Is that you, Paige?
With that voice, I remembered that this guy was Gordon, who I went to high school with. And he was always the type to suck up to those stronger than him and have the most ridiculous attitude to anybody he thought was weaker than him. Oh, he was the worst. I haven't seen this judgmental, grinning face in a while.
Hey. Do you even know the price of this restaurant? You know this isn't a family-friendly diner.
Obviously, we knew that. What kind of attitude is that to your customers?
Oh, Paige. Do you know him?
Yeah, we went to the same high school. Oh my, well that's a relief. Isn't it nice that you know somebody at such a proper restaurant like this? Oh, this has to be a joke. Do you seriously think it's nice when you look at my devastated face? My mom is usually really good reading my feelings, but I wonder what happened.
You know there aren't any discounts here. If you're gonna leave, now's your chance.
What did he say? I'm sure that sarcasm got on my mom's nerves too. It's okay, we don't need any discount, but thanks for your thoughtfulness. What? She didn't notice? Gordon then reluctantly directed us to our seats. And then he threw the menu on the table. Paul told him that we had already reserved the tasting menu, but then Gordon scrunched up his face.
The tasting menu's $300 per person, so I think it would be best for you to change that reservation. $300? Sheesh, that's expensive. Wow. Hey, you! We're here to celebrate, and I chose the tasting menu so that they won't know the prices!
And with this, Paul was also furious. We know the price already, so please move forward with the tasting menu. That was when Gordon just said, yeah, and brushed us off as he walked back towards the kitchen. But then, even though we had ordered a bottle of wine to celebrate and cheers, we waited, and it never came. I tried calling over the other employees, but all of them were on a different planet. Looks like all of them employees at this restaurant were contenders for a disappointment award.
The wine and the food that we ordered haven't arrived yet at all! Excuse me, but we haven't received any orders for this table.
Oh, this is disgusting! Excuse me? We pre-ordered the tasting menu, so the first course should have arrived as soon as we sat down. And plus, we also ordered a bottle of wine, didn't we?
I'm sorry, but customers without money are only provided the bare minimum service, so please, do order according to your means. Because when the bill comes and you say you don't have enough, that's going to be a problem for us.
What the hell did he just say? And first of all, why has he decided that we don't have money?
Well, in that case, then I'll make the payment at the beginning. And there should be no problem, right?
Nice one, Paul.
We don't take prepayments here, so please order from the a la carte corner on the menu. That's where you'll find the items that families like yours can access. However, note that the price is dozens of dollars for a few slices of prosciutto. Because we provide rich and high-quality dishes here at this restaurant, so customers who expect quantity over quality may be dissatisfied.
Oh, what an irritating guy!
By the way, you also need to pay for the water here, so if you do get thirsty, I recommend that you go and turn the faucet in the sink and quietly get your water there.
Oh, what the hell is this guy saying?
I don't care about water or wine. I want to drink a beer.
He can be so clueless. Looks like they have craft beers here. Well then, please bring out the wine and craft beer first. I tried to reset the scene and place the order. However, Gordon's attitude only got worse.
Huh? Can the peasants really pay for that? Even though you don't have any money, you better not push yourselves too much.
When he said that, he started laughing with the employee that was standing next to him. And that laughter was beyond irritating. My shoulders were shaking with anger. Paul also looked pretty upset, and I could tell that he was furious. What was wrong with this restaurant? They were completely ruining this 30th wedding anniversary. I was no longer able to stand it, and after Paul and I made eye contact, we decided to leave the restaurants and stood up together. However, Phoebe quickly stopped us. Wait right there, Paige. If we leave, then we're doing exactly what the guy wants. That's true, but I can see it. That something outrageous is about to happen after this. What? It seemed that Phoebe could already see something happening. That reminds me that she did say that there was going to be a commotion earlier, so she must be sensing something.
Well then, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and see how it goes. How that guy chooses to proceed.
My father said that as he was grinning.
That's right. It seems like the real show hasn't started yet anyway.
Kevin also seemed to be grinning from ear to ear. My mother was also sat firmly in her seat, and she seemed strangely relaxed and calm. Why does it seem like everybody's having a great time, or is it just me? Even though the wedding anniversary is being destroyed like this, how can everybody be so relaxed? Paul and I couldn't understand at all as we continued to look at each other. 30 minutes later. It had already been 30 minutes since we arrived at the restaurant. During that time, not even the water arrived at the table, and the employees were all just looking at us and sniggering. As if to tell us to hurry up and get out, they were all completely ignoring our presence.
Don't you think it's time that you all leave already?
Gordon seemed to lose his patience, and he came over to the table.
Don't you think that it's time to bring our food to the table?
Paul didn't back down and replied,
Did you even look at the menu? Even the cheapest thing, water, costs $8, you know. With $8, you can buy enough beef bowls for the whole family, so go ahead over there.
As if $8 could feed all 6 of us. We are here to celebrate our parents' 30th wedding anniversary. Until you prepare the dishes we've reserved, we're not going to leave. When I said that again, for some reason, Gordon grinned again.
Well then, I'll prepare some dishes that are perfect for people like you.
As he said that, Gordon then walked over to a table after the customers had left, started cleaning up their leftover dishes, but then placed the plates with leftover food on them onto a tray, and then started walking towards our table? And to our disbelief, he placed those plates full of leftovers on our table.
Here you go. This is the food that your family can pay for.
But what the hell is this? This is other people's leftovers!
For your peasant family, Paige, this is probably the limit. Now hurry up and eat this and get out. Next time, please choose a restaurant that's more suitable for your wallets.
Oh, why does he have to take it this far? I can't hold it anymore. I need to say something. As I said, I stood up. Phoebe grabbed my arm and stopped me. What? That was when my dad opened his mouth.
I see. I understand. Also, you're fired. What?
Fired? What the heck is he saying? Paul and I were the only ones who were confused. My mother and Phoebe and Kevin were all smiling from ear to ear like they were expecting this.
It's showtime! Ta-da!
What's going on?
You don't need to come to work from tomorrow. Huh? Why should you be able to tell me that, old man?
My father didn't run any restaurant business. And yet he was telling Gordon that he was fired? Could it be that he's trying to plan to act like the restaurant owner to corner Gordon?
If you think you can fire me, then I dare you to try! What is this commotion?
And that was when someone who looked like he might be the owner of the restaurant appeared. Dad, this is definitely not good. This is a crisis! But then, even though the owner appeared, my father didn't budge.
Oh, sir, this peasant family's taking a terrible attitude with us, even though all I did was to inform them that this is an expensive restaurant.
Excuse me! You're the one that's been taking a terrible attitude this whole time. Even though we said we're prepared to pay, you haven't brought us any of the food from the tasting menu we reserved, or the wine that we ordered at Cheers!
Is that true?
Yeah, of course it's true!
But more importantly, sir, this old man started saying out of nowhere that he's gonna fire me. He must be crazy to try to pretend like he's you, the real owner. Are you stupid? When did I ever say that I'm the owner of this restaurant? I never said a word about that, did I?
That's true, he never said that.
Huh? The only person who has the right to fire me is the real owner right here. Obviously I know that. But I'm talking about firing you from your main job.
Huh? Main job? When he heard those words, Gordon's confident face suddenly went pale. And he was a different person standing there.
You're Gordon, who works at Pani Pani Trading Company, aren't you?
What? He works at your company, Dad? This guy?
Your dad's company?
My dad then turned to Gordon, who was shaking in his pants, and handed him his business card.
Well, Gordon, I wouldn't tell you to remember every single person who works at Pani Pani Trading Company. There are more than 1,000 employees after all. But you know, at the very least, you should know the faces of the president, which is me, and the CEO, Miss Penny here. President? CEO? Paige's parents? This must be a joke!
Gordon dropped the business card that he received and he crumbled on the spot. That was when I finally understood why my parents were so calm this entire time against this guy's terrible attitude. That's what I told you, didn't I? I could see it. The faces of Mom and Dad smiling. So, Paige, go ahead and teach this man the truth. Tell him the reality. Yes, ma'am.
What the hell is this? What? Huh? So are you telling me that this guy was working at your company? And also working here, Dad? No!
Surely you're not going to try and deny it now, are you? But still, Mom and Dad, I'm amazed that you guys remembered an employee like this who seemed so useless. Well, of course we do. Because it hasn't even been 1 year since he entered the company and he's full of mistakes. Entry-level mistakes. And complaints over the phone as well as reports with misinformation. 80% of the mistakes that have been reported to us are all this guy. It seems that they put him around to coffee duties because there was nowhere else for him. But he doesn't even know how to turn on the switch for the automatic doors. So we've gotten many reports that he's a completely useless problem child. The managers have been discussing when and how to let him go. So that's why, as soon as we came into this restaurant, I noticed that this must be the brainless, useless Gordon that I've heard so much about.
Brainless? Useless?
As brainless as a pear. Exactly, Paige. Having a second job without company permission is already a major problem for us. So with this, we can fire you without any hesitation.
What? Please, wait a minute! Please at least spare me from being fired! Anything but that! If I don't have my job anymore, how am I supposed to survive from now on?
Why don't you just work full-time at this restaurant then? It's full of employees that look at people that assume they are poor and laugh at them, so you must feel right at home here.
No way! There's no way I can live off of such a cheap salary like this! The hourly is $9 with no tips! They just take a lot of money from the customers, but they only pay us $9 an hour! The owner's a cheap bastard!
Whoa, did you forget that the owner is standing right next to you?
Sorry for being a cheap bastard then! Yeah! Sir! Since when were you standing there? I made an appearance a long time ago! You already forgot that? But why is the owner here? Even though you only show your face around here on payday so that everybody thanks you?
Ah, I see. This is the owner, and that's why the staff are like this.
Earlier, I got a call from the regular, Mr. Thomas. He said that the staff were taking outrageous attitudes and that he was furious. What? But I gave the proper customer service to Mr. Thomas. As usual, we gave him free dessert, and I opened the door for him and walked him out. Right, guys? Wait, you guys?
The other employees had gone completely pale from the turn of events, and they were all silent. They were all looking down and shaking in their pants.
Obviously, Mr. Thomas was talking about your attitude towards this family over here.
Even the owner was holding his head at this situation. Paige, why don't you tell this man what he needs to hear? I guess I have no choice. Miss Paige shall teach little Gordon a lesson. Gordon, customer service is what happens when you figure out what the customer is asking for and to be able to respond to that appropriately. For example, if it's a couple, you keep your distance from them, and right around the time that their conversation stops, you can offer another drink, or to support any conversations about the food. For solo diners, to figure out whether they're the type that likes to talk or not while you take their order, or if anybody is confused on how to eat, to nonchalantly guide them through the meal. But what I can tell you is that there isn't a single restaurant these days that's going to try to push customers out just because they're poor.
But, because...
Whenever a customer rakes a reservation, that gives them the right to dine at the restaurant. And yet, you were trying to tell us to leave because you think we're poor? And on top of that, you were bringing leftovers from the other table. What part of this is customer service?
Gordon! What the hell have you done? Because...
And you, Mr. Owner! Why are you acting like you're also a victim here?
What?
What do you mean, what? I don't care how expensive your restaurant might be. It's unbelievable that you would hire people like this and then leave them to do whatever they want. And it's not just this guy. All of the employees have been enjoying laughing at any customers that they think look poor. If you're the owner of a restaurant, then you should be checking in, not only on payday and regardless of whether there's been part-time or full-time employees, make sure that they are given proper customer service and to direct them to do so. I bet the kitchen is also in a pretty ridiculous state as well.
What?
Because look around. Most of your customers have left a lot of food unfinished.
You're right.
So what you all have done here is to take the excitement of all these people who have saved up their money to dine here with the people that they love and disappointed many of these people from the moment they open the doors. Customers may not be able to fire employees, but they do have the power to choose where they dine, and we will never come to a place like this again.
Even if you people don't come here, this is a restaurant where you can't get a reservation anyway. So that's not even going to leave a dent in our business. If the people of Pani Pani Trading Company who are going to fire me so easily stop coming here, then that's better for me. Isn't that right, sir? Paige, teach him that thing. Sir?
Got it! A busy day for Mrs. Page. Pani Pani Trading Company has been putting a lot of effort into imported wines. There are multiple products that only Pani Pani Trading Company can import into this country. But surely even you know that despite being fired a few minutes ago. Right, Gordon?
What?
He clearly didn't know this. What was this guy even doing at work every day? I can imagine there will be many customers who will feel no need to come to this restaurant if the wine that they're seeking is no longer here. And as the CEO, now that I've declared that we won't be using this restaurant at all...
Mrs. Pani Pani Trading Company, we will be firing Gordon as well, so please, is there any way that we can ask you to continue doing business with us?
The restaurant owner had turned pale and he started crying to my parents.
Fired? If I'm fired from this place, how am I supposed to survive?
Figure that out yourself.
You don't like the low salary. You said it yourself. So why don't you go find a job with a higher salary then? No way. Well then, sir, Mr. Pani Pani, please don't throw me away. I promise I won't have a second job anymore. Please don't fire me.
Gordon suddenly dropped down on his knees and was begging at my parents' feet, but...
I'm starving. Why don't we all go out to eat now?
My dad beautifully ignored Gordon.
Mr. Pani Pani Trading Company, about your business with our restaurant.
I want to try eating that thing, the one with the melty cheese. And my mom ignored, just like my dad.
Oh yeah, raclette cheese. Madam, as long as there's beer and sashimi, I don't mind wherever we go. As long as the whole family can eat happily.
Dad, you say some good things sometimes.
Sir? What do you mean sometimes? Phoebe, is there any restaurant around here where you could eat lacrosse and sashimi with beer?
You mean raclette? But a restaurant with raclette cheese and sashimi. I can see it. All of us sitting in a pub with a red rooftop cheering with beer and wine. It exists.
Oh, that restaurant! It's the one called Cheese and Sashimi that's owned by member number 1435 of our Cheese and Sashimi Research Club that I'm a part of. And for the record, I'm the club president. Ta-da!
Classic Kevin. And the rest of my family who doesn't say anything in regards to that.
I'll call him and let him know that we're all coming, and ask him to reserve a table. Ta-da!
Alright, let's go and properly celebrate over there.
Yeah, let's! About that contract with our restaurant? No way! No way! It's over! Please, anything but firing me! What?
We brushed off the two of them as they were crying to us, and in order to properly celebrate our parents' wedding anniversary, we moved to that other pub. The restaurant owner was very kind and hospitable, and when we told him that it was our parents' wedding anniversary, he even sent out a few extra dishes. Thanks to them, we were able to have a very fun wedding anniversary celebration in the end. After that, Gordon was fired from my dad's company, and he was also sued for the very high cost of damages from his mistakes. Paul was depressed that he chose the wrong restaurant, but my parents were extremely grateful that they were given the opportunity to fire brainless, useless Gordon. Oh, that's right. Gordon was also fired from the restaurant. I heard now that he's riddled in debt. All day and night he's being forced to work shady jobs by the debt collectors. After my dad's company turned their back on the restaurant, it collapsed soon after. It seems that all of the pathetic employees also had to go into debt, and none of them are able to lead a decent life. Especially that man who is the owner. I heard that his affair was also discovered by his wife, and that he divorced his wife and she collected a huge settlement fee from him. It's my dream to be a married couple like you guys, Mom and Dad. It's amazing how you both understand each other without even having to put it into words.
What are you talking about? I still don't know anything about your mother.
Huh? Are you sure about that? Oh, I'm gonna get pudding for dessert. Mom, you'll also get the pudding too, right?
Obviously your mom's going to go for the chocolate cake, and a bitter tea with that.
Oh my, you actually remembered what I like. That's my honey. This is why I love you. My mom said that to him. My dad's face turned bright red.
Well, yeah. I've been listening to you say chocolate cake for 30 years now.
Oh, Dad, look at you blushing. But my mom knew that he would be happy to hear that, and I think she's amazing as well. I hope someday I can become an amazing couple like them. But before that, I need to find myself a boyfriend first. Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!